Welcome back. Hope everyone's having a good day on this Memorial Day. So here I'm going to talk about some of my favorite Disneyland memories from back in the 1990s. So yes, I was a lot younger back then. And back then the technology wasn't quite to where we are now. But there were some great times at Disneyland back in the 90s for me. As a kid and developing more into teenager and stuff. So let's get to it. Let's see, my first favorite memory would have to be the year Indiana Jones first opened at Disneyland back in 95. I mean, first I heard about it maybe a year or so before then, after I had just seen the Indiana Jones movies and was really into them. And then I heard Disney's in the works of making the attraction. So I was really excited. And then finally the commercial for it comes on, and I was blown away. I was really blown away. Really wanted to get to Disneyland so badly just to go on it. And so yeah, about I want to say probably a couple weeks later after it opened, my dad tells me a good surprise. He kind of makes it sound like I have to get up and get ready for school. But then he tells me, no, you're not going anywhere. What? You're not going to school today. I'm like, really? Then he tells me that my grandma and my aunts are taking me to Disneyland. I was like, no way. I was like, are you serious? I didn't believe him at first, but I was like, are you serious? Sure enough, yep. So my grandma and aunt come and get me. Head right over to Disneyland. And we went straight to Indiana Jones first. So yeah, on a school day, what normally would have been back then a 3-hour line for that ride was a lot less. Because it was our first ride, and also it was a school day, so of course, less crowds back then. Because back then we didn't have the Fast Pass, we didn't have the special access, I don't think. But there were no Fast Passes, so lines were even. So got on it, absolutely loved it. I mean, was there anything that kind of scared me a little? I think the spike room a little bit did, because it seemed real. That was really my only area that I got scared of when I was younger. Bear in mind, I was like 8 or 9 at the time. So yeah, absolutely loved the ride itself, right off the bat. And then as we were heading towards the exit of the park, we thought about it and we decided to go on it one more time. So we went on it twice. First ride and our last ride of the day. So that was a lot of fun. Easily one of my favorite trips there. So totally worth it. Then my next best memory, kind of a similar thing, but it was like a couple years later. This time I got to experience Disneyland during the holidays. Well, when the holiday stuff's set up, I mean. So like the Christmassy stuff. And this was a lot of fun too. Same story of my grandma and aunt taking me. Got on just about everything that day. Lines were not bad. I mean, you can go on anything. Then you can get on them multiple times too if you really wanted to. So it was totally worth it. And yeah, I had a great time both times with my grandma and aunt. So yeah, it was definitely worth it. And then another fun memory in the 90s. This time you had my family, mom, dad, sister, and I, along with my grandma and aunt, and then my 3 cousins. So there were 9 of us. So this was a fun experience. It was the summer of, I think it was 98. Yes, 98. So yeah, at that time, this is after Tomorrowland basically got the renovation updates and all that, and it was really cool. So it was the first time all of us going together, and it was a lot of fun. Big group of people, basically that means we kind of took over. We got our own, basically, attraction rides and all that. Like we had the whole Indiana Jones transport to ourselves, and then we also had the whole Space Mountain Matterhorn all to ourselves, attraction ride to ourselves, basically. And yeah, a lot of fun. We took over a whole row of Star Tours. Good times. Lots of good times. Stayed all the way from open to close. Got to watch Fantasmic. Great experience. Absolutely love it. So yeah, those were great times. And in Splash Mountain, we basically all got drenched as well. So overall, I don't know how I'd rank the experiences on those. That's tough. So they're all great experiences. And definitely worth remembering. Then I would say my next one would be when I was in middle school at the time, and at our church confirmation classes, we went to Disneyland. And then on a Saturday too, and this was 1999. And for a Saturday, it actually was not that bad of a crowd. I mean, this was the first time we got on Indiana Jones 3 times and got all 3 rooms. That was a great experience. Because, yeah. I mean, how often can you say that for Indiana Jones? Got on Space Mountain about the same amount of times, 3 times. Star Tours, same thing. I mean, you could hit anything pretty easily. Go on anything pretty easily. This was like January of 99. So yeah, it was totally worth it then. Let's see, went on Splash Mountain. I think that was probably my first time on Splash Mountain at night. I never had been on it at night before. Always during the day. But it was a fun experience at night too. Absolutely loved it. We stayed from open to close. Because then I remember we got stuck in that bad traffic going home because the 5 was shut down. So we got stuck in downtown LA for a little bit. Luckily, someone was kind enough to find a place to get us directions to get back on the road. So thank goodness. Because back then we didn't have GPS. We didn't have well, I guess there were maybe some cell phones, but we didn't have the GPS systems back then. So yeah. So overall, the whole experiences at Disneyland were a lot of fun. Absolutely loved them. I always enjoy a good experience at Disneyland. So yeah, thought I would share all that with you. And until next time, I'll be back again soon. Feel free to like and subscribe.